They laughed at me every single day. I told myself I didn't care. But I cried every night into my pillow where no one could hear me. 2 years later they didn't even recognize me. But I remembered every single face. Every cruel word. Every time they made me feel like I wasn't enough. This is the story of how I went from being the girl everyone ignored to the woman everyone couldn't stop staring at. But that wasn't even the best part. My name is Emma. When I was 16 I was invisible. Not because I wanted to be. Because that's what happens when you don't fit the mold. I was overweight. Not slightly. Not curvy. I was the biggest girl in my entire high school. Every morning I'd stand in front of my closet and pull out the same black hoodie. The same baggy jeans. Not because I liked them. But because they hid me. While other girls wore crop tops and took selfies in the bathroom mirror, I ate lunch alone in the library. I watched everyone live their lives while I tried to disappear into mine. My mom would say things like, "You have such a pretty face." Which is code for, "If only you lost weight." I knew what she meant. Everyone did. But the worst part wasn't the silence. It was the noise. The whispers in the hallway. The laughter when I walked by. The way boys would dare each other to ask me out as a joke. I built walls so high that I convinced myself I didn't care anymore. Until the day I realized I was lying to myself. It was spring of junior year. Prom season. Everyone was asking everyone out in these elaborate ways. Posters. Flowers. Flash mobs. I told myself I didn't want to go anyway. But that was a lie too. There was this guy. His name was Tyler. He sat 2 rows behind me in history class. Sandy blonde hair. Green eyes. Varsity jacket. The kind of guy who didn't even know I existed. But I noticed everything about him. The way he tapped his pen when he was thinking. How he always helped Miss Peterson clean the whiteboard after class. He seemed different. Kinder. One day after class I stayed behind to grab my textbook. Tyler was there with his friends. I heard my name. "Dude, just ask Emma to prom," one of them laughed. My heart stopped. Was this real? Tyler laughed. Not a kind laugh. "Bro, I'd rather take my fridge to prom than her." They erupted. All of them. Laughing so hard one kid literally doubled over. I grabbed my book and ran. I didn't cry in the hallway. I didn't cry in the bathroom. I made it all the way home. And then I shattered. I looked at myself in the mirror that night. Really looked. And I hated what I saw. Not because I was fat. But because I had let them make me feel like that's all I was. Something clicked inside me that night. It wasn't about revenge. Not yet. It was about survival. I couldn't live like this anymore. The next morning I deleted Instagram. I stopped eating lunch in the library. I started walking home instead of taking the bus. Not because I had some master plan. But because I needed to move. To do something. Anything. At first I could barely make it 2 blocks without stopping. My lungs burned. My legs ached. But I kept going. Every step felt like I was walking away from their laughter. I started small. Cut out soda. Replaced chips with fruit. Drank water until I thought I'd float away. Some days I wanted to quit. I'd stand in front of the mirror and see the same girl. Nothing had changed. Why was I even trying? But then I'd remember Tyler's voice. I'd rather take my fridge. And I'd lace up my sneakers again. 3 months in, something shifted. My jeans felt looser. My face looked different in pictures. My mom noticed. "You look healthy, sweetie," she said one morning. Healthy. Not pretty. Not thin. But it was something. I started running. Like actually running. At first 1 mile felt impossible. Then 5. I wasn't doing it for them anymore. I was doing it because I liked who I was becoming. Strong. Determined. Alive. By the end of summer I'd lost 40 pounds. But the biggest change wasn't the number on the scale. It was the way I carried myself. I stopped hiding. I started looking people in the eye. I bought clothes that actually fit me. Not to show off. But because I deserved to feel good. Senior year started. I walked into school wearing jeans and a fitted white tee. Nothing fancy. But it was the first time I didn't wear a hoodie in 2 years. People stared. Not with pity. With confusion. Like they couldn't figure out who I was. And honestly, that felt better than any compliment. It was October. Homecoming weekend. I wasn't planning on going. Dances still felt like a trigger. But my friend Jenna convinced me. "You've worked so hard," she said. "Come celebrate yourself." So I went. I wore a black dress. Simple. Elegant. The kind of dress I never thought I could pull off. When I walked into that gym, the music was too loud and the lights were too bright. But I felt good. Really good. And then I saw him. Tyler. Standing by the punch table with the same group of guys. He looked at me. Then looked away. Then looked again. His face changed. Confused. Surprised. He walked over. "Hey," he said, smiling. "I don't think we've met. I'm Tyler." I stared at him. He genuinely didn't recognize me. 2 years of sitting in the same classroom. 2 years of existing in the same hallways. And he had no idea who I was. I'm Emma, I said calmly. His smile faltered. Wait, Emma? Like Emma from history? I nodded. He looked me up and down. Not in a creepy way. In a shocked way. Wow, you look amazing. I could have said thank you. I could have smiled and walked away. But something inside me needed him to know. You told your friends you'd rather take your fridge to prom than me. The color drained from his face. I didn't. You did, I said. I heard you. I was standing right there. He opened his mouth. Closed it. Tried again. Emma, I'm so sorry. I was an idiot. I was trying to be funny and... You were trying to fit in, I interrupted. I get it. But I don't need your apology. I turned to walk away. Wait, he called after me. Can I get your number? Maybe we could hang out sometime. I stopped, turned back, and smiled. Not a mean smile. Just a knowing one. No thanks, I said. I'm good. And I walked away. The months after that were surreal. People who never spoke to me suddenly wanted to be my friend. Guys who used to laugh at me started DMing me on Instagram. Tyler tried 3 more times to talk to me. Each time I was polite, but firm. I wasn't interested. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I finally understood something. The people who only see you when you're pretty don't deserve to see you at all. By graduation I'd lost 70 pounds total. But more than that, I'd gained something I never had before. Confidence. Self-respect. Peace. I got into my dream college. Started a fitness Instagram to help other girls like me. Within 6 months I had 10,000 followers. Girls messaging me every day saying I inspired them. That I helped them see they were worth the effort. That they didn't have to wait for permission to take care of themselves. And that meant more than any compliment about my body ever could. One day Tyler messaged me. It was long. Apologetic. He said he'd been thinking about what he said that day. That he was ashamed. That he wanted to take me to dinner to make it up to me. I read it twice. Then I replied, I appreciate the apology, but I don't need dinner. I've moved on. I hope you have too. I didn't block him. I didn't curse him out. I just let it go. Because holding on to anger would have kept me in that place. And I had come too far to go back. My mom cried when I told her the whole story. Not sad tears. Proud ones. You grew up, she said. Not just physically, but in here. She tapped her chest. And she was right. The glow-up everyone saw on the outside was nothing compared to what happened on the inside. I stopped seeking validation. I stopped shrinking myself to make others comfortable. I stopped believing that my weight defined my worth. And the crazy part? Once I stopped caring what they thought, they couldn't hurt me anymore. Here's what I learned. People think glow-ups are about changing how you look. New hair. New body. New clothes. But the truth is, the biggest glow-up happens inside. It's when you stop needing their approval. When you stop letting their words define your value. When you realize that you were never the problem. They were. I'm not gonna lie and say it was easy. Some days I still look in the mirror and see that 16-year-old girl in the black hoodie. But now instead of feeling sad, I feel proud. Because she survived. And she became me. If you're reading this and you feel invisible, I need you to hear me. You're not too much. You're not too little. You are exactly who you need to be right now. And if you want to change, do it for you. Not for the people who made you feel small. They don't get to have that power over you. You do. I thought my story ended there. I thought I'd moved on. Left high school behind. But a few months ago I ran into Tyler again. And what he said to me changed everything. But that's a story for another day. This was my story. What would you have done if you were me? Let me know in the comments. And if this story made you feel something, hit that subscribe button. Because trust me, there's so much more to tell. See you in the next one.